Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about part 3 of unit 1, in which we will discuss about the crime scene and criminal investigations. The various types of crime scenes on the basis of the place of offense are indoor crime scene, outdoor crime scene, mobile crime scene, mobile crime scene such as in trains, in car, etc. No crime scene in case of forgery, primary or secondary crime scene, crime scene where the crime has taken place and the body or uh, the body is shifted to another crime scene. So it would be primary, it would be divided into primary where the actual offense has taken place, and secondary where the body has been moved. Now active crime scene, which is still giving off evidences and is not completely clean. Now staged crime scenes in which the evidences doesn't match with the testimony of the eyewitnesses. For example, arson. The perpetrator stages a fire to cover murder or any other crime. Suicide or murder, in which the perpetrator stages the stages the murder as suicide. Burglary, in which burglary is staged to collect insurance money. Now, the various types of crime includes sodomy, that is crime against nature, larceny, taking something without the knowledge of its owner, buggery or sodomy, it involves anal intercourse, eonism, adaptation of feminine, character, perjury, false statement which is given under oath by hostile witnesses. Hostile witnesses are false witnesses. Pseudocyesis, that is false pregnancy. Manslaughter, the crime of killing somebody without intending to do so. Neonaticide, it is the killing of a child within 24 hours of its birth. Sexual perversion, abnormal or unacceptable sexual behavior. Sadism, tendency to derive pleasure from inflicting pain or suffering on others. Masochism, tendency to derive sexual gratification from own pain or humiliation. Exhibition, Exhibitionism, that is the exposure of male private part. Bestiality, sexual intercourse between a person and an animal. Buccal coitus or sin of Gomorrah, it is penile or vaginal oral sexual intercourse. Lynching, homicidal hanging. Emasculation, removal of male reproductive organ. Excusable homicide, homicide caused unintentionally by an act done in good faith. Pederasty, it is the anal intercourse of a man with a boy. The boy here is known as catamite and the man is the pederast. Frotteurism, it is rubbing of sexual organs against others. Adultery, sexual intercourse with a married woman without her husband's consent. Fellatio, oral stimulation of the male genital. Cunnilingus means oral stimulation of female genitalia. Malingering or shaming, conscious planning, figning, and pretending a disease for the sake of some advantage in the form of money or sympathy, etc. The 7 S of crime scene investigation includes: first is securing the scene, that is barricading the area, separating the witnesses to avoid the witnesses to create a story or conclusion, scanning the scene for the determination of primary and secondary scene, seeing the scene, a view of crime scene taken, and several photos of evidences and the body should be taken. Sketching the scene on a rough scale, north should be labeled and a proper sketching of the scene should be done. searching for evidences, securing and collecting the evidences, and maintaining the chain of custody. Chain of custody includes the details such as case number, item inventory number, description of the evidence, name of suspect, name of victim, date and time of recovery, signature of person recovering the evidence, and signature of witnesses present during collection. Teleforensic technology is used in crime scene management for real-time data from a crime scene to remote locations. The two basic types of sketches are the rough sketch or the final or finished sketch, and there are three most common sketching types, which includes the overhead or bird's eye view, or next is the elevation or side view, and cross projection sketch, which is the combination of both of these, and 3D sketches are scaled models. There are three techniques to obtain crime scene measurements for sketching, that are triangulation, baseline, and polar coordinates. In triangulation coordinates, the 2 points x and y are fixed, and the measurement of evidences are done on the basis of the distance of these points from x and y both respectively. In baseline coordinate method, point x and y are fixed on a straight line, and the A and B evidences are measured along the line. The distance from along the line between x and y, and at right angles to the line x and y. This distance is measured. Here, what is the difference between triangulation and baseline? Here, the distance is measured from both the fixed points. Okay. Now, polar coordinates. Here also there are two fixed points, and object is A. Distance from wall X is measured in the terms of degree, angle. Crime scene reconstruction. So it involves event. Here event is the crime. Next is evidence collection, observation of information. Next step is conjecture, beginning of hypothesis formulation, then hypothesis depending upon the observations at the crime scene, then testing of information from the event, testing of your hypothesis, data collection, forensic lab testing, and then reconstruction theory. Now, collection and preservation of evidences in poisoning cases involves, in normal cases, the evidences includes viscera, liver, spleen, and kidney or blood, where the victim is dead. How to preserve them? Using common salt or its saturated solution, NaCl. Blood is preserved using potassium oxalate and sodium fluoride. Potassium oxalate is anticoagulant. The preservative that should not be used includes rectified spirit and formalin. In acid poisoning, viscera, liver, spleen, and kidney are preserved in rectified spirit, and blood is preserved in potassium oxalate and sodium fluoride. Common salt or its saturated solution is avoided because the chloride present in the common salt will interfere with the chloride ion identification present in the HCl, hydrochloric acid. Now about alcohol poisoning, viscera, liver, spleen, and kidney are collected in common salt, are preserved in common salt or its saturated solution, and blood is preserved in potassium oxalate and sodium fluoride. Here, rectified spirit and formalin should be avoided for preservation, because rectified spirit is 95% alcohol. So it would interfere with the alcoholic percentage because of alcohol poisoning. Now, cyanide poisoning. Viscera, liver, spleen, and kidney are preserved in common salt or its saturated solution. Blood is preserved in potassium oxalate and sodium fluoride, and formalin should be avoided as a preservative. Carbon monoxide and other gaseous poisonings involves the collection of blood and lungs. Blood is preserved in potassium oxalate or sodium fluoride with a layer of liquid paraffin so that the volatile gas would not evaporate. Now lungs are preserved in common salt or its saturated solution. In arsenic poisoning, viscera, liver, spleen, and kidney, and nails, bones, and hair are preserved in common salt or its saturated solution. In snake bite and injection cases, blood is preserved in potassium oxalate and sodium fluoride, and skin piece at the site of the bite or injection is preserved in common salt or its saturated solution. Blood for grouping is preserved in 5% sodium citrate and 0.25 ml of formalin. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more such videos.